The majority of Rubik's Cube speed solvers will first solve the cross, then the first two layers, then they'll make all the top layer pieces face up or orient the last layer, and finally they shuffle around all the pieces or permute them in order to solve the entire cube. This method is known as CFOP. However, there exist many different methods of solving the Rubik's Cube, some more popular than others. In this video I'm going to see how difficult it is to retrain my brain from hundreds of hours of solving this plastic toy, and the method I've chosen to learn is Roux, which is different to CFOP in several ways. I think this challenge is going to be pretty difficult, so it's probably best I start learning the method right away.
Swap these two. And then that's it. You can learn about the benefits and down.
Seems simple enough. Turns out it's much easier to listen to JPerm explain something than it is to actually do it. So with Roux we make two blocks instead of a cross. Now this can be done much more freely than with CFOP because you have your M slice freed up. And then we can build a second block. And so once we have both our blocks built, it doesn't have to necessarily be attached to white. You can have it on whatever you like. So then we look at our corners on top. Here, you'd see these ones. If we ignore the edges, you could just do that in order to solve them. And then we solve the corner permutation. So we've got headlights there and these aren't solved. So we do a T-perm, which will solve the corner permutation. And then we do edge orientation, I think. So we look for bad edges, and we have two here, so we can do that, like that. There we go. This part, you know what, I'm not really sure yet. From what I gather, you can kind of just play around until something solves. There you go. That is after about 20 minutes of trying to learn Roux. I think I've got a long way to go. I felt like I wasn't quite right about how to solve the last 6 edges, and so I went back and watched a few more videos from different people, and I think I had a bit of a realisation. Okay, so I've done a little bit more learning when it comes to Roux, and turns out I was just absolutely wrong with the last 6 edges. So we can do these blocks first, that's fine, and then we can permute our corners, well, orient them and then permute them. Then we can do our edge orientation. Are you joking me? Okay, well that doesn't usually happen. So as I was saying, we can go through everything like normal. What? This is fine, right. So when we have something like this with a 3 cycle, we can just, how do you do it again? No, that wasn't right. There you go. So you're supposed to solve it intuitively instead of just, so what something that I did was, I don't know, having sort of my cross edge like that. And you'd be like, oh, well that usually goes in the white cross. So you can just do M prime U to N. And then that solves your first 2 layers. And then your top layer is already oriented, so it can only be a PLL. And all your corners are permuted as well, so it can only be what, like a U perm, a Z perm, H perm, that's it. So yeah, I mean, I know what I'm doing now, so maybe it's this time already. Right guys, I don't know, I was about to start recording and I don't know how well you can see that, but my cube was in my bag and it must have gotten squished or something. That is an awful noise. Guess I'm bringing out this bad boy. And so I began to do some time solves. I still felt like I was solving a little bit CFOP-y, if you know what I mean. I didn't find myself having that much trouble with CMLL or edge orientation, but I was finding it quite difficult to solve the last 6 edges without forcing a PLL, because that's just what my CFOP brain really wants to do. And you can see here how much I'm struggling with the last 6 edges. It took me absolutely ages to figure it out in the end. It really did feel just like learning the cube all over again, besides the first 2 blocks, because that feels quite CFOP-y to me. Let's go! For so what? fun. What?
I guess one good thing about the Tornado V4 is that M slices feel quite good.
What? I don't know if that was even Roux. Have I even just solved with Roux? I don't even. So after solving with Roux for a while, I do have a few opinions, I guess you could say. With the first blocks, I do like the freedom that you get, much more than you do with CFOP. So, for this pair here, where you would usually, break it up, maybe rotate, something like that, you can just use your M slice to make it rotationless. It's great. It honestly does feel really freeing. The only thing I would say is it's quite easy to sort of lose your pieces, because with CFOP, your edges can only be in any of the 4 empty slots and on the top layer, but with Roux, it is a bit weird to have to sort of look down here and you're like, oh, okay, my edge is there. And for example, this pair, usually you'd have to rotate and insert or use F moves or whatever, but it's great. I really like it actually. CMLL is very nice, it's very fun to do. Edge orientation isn't that hard either, but the last 6 edges, honestly, I find it so hard for some reason. I'm not sure why. There you go.
And it would be a lie to say that this challenge didn't make me feel like a complete loser, so I did some CFOP to clear my head.
That's better. So again, I wouldn't say, I mean, I'm still absolutely hideously bad at Roux, but it was fun, and it is definitely a fun method. Can someone in the comments tell me if that is still legal to use in competition, because that's really sad. Leave a like to pay your respects to my white blue edge casing for my version 10, and also leave a like if you think CFOP is better than Roux. Bye.
And to answer the question, how hard is it to learn a new method? It's hard. For me at least. I don't know if my brain's really smooth. Who knows? Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.